We're going to do a portrait of Laura, an oil painting on a canvas that's here. The first session involves walking on the light-dark values, dark-light values, and the second will focus more on warm, cool colors. As another technique. Here we have the materials. We're going to use plastic palettes like these, a few knives to prepare the colors. I've got two ranges of colors. Here are the transparent colors to make the mixes, to make sepia. So they'll be used for the first session today. That's the base for making base medium. So normally 3 parts, 3 parts, 3 parts. For this session I'll be using a liquid blend, and I'll use more damas than linseed and more turpentine. So damas, it's all mixed here, linseed oil, turpentine. And then a dash of alkyd to make it dry. And now I'm going to prepare the palette. It's as if I had a palette of primary colours. I've got sienna that replaces the yellow, burnt sienna, which replaces the red, and then cobalt blue or black for the blue. It's the 3 primary colours. I'm mixing, and that makes a brown. So I'm starting by putting a liquid blend all over the canvas. I'm going to put a bit of turpentine in another pot to dilute the paint and cover the canvas. I'm going to use a small hog's bristle brush like this one and start a rough drawing. So always the general shapes at this stage. The line of A sits a bit like this, over to one side. I'm looking for the oval of the face. And I'm trying to find the structures, how the head sits on the body, the neck and the breastbone here, something like this. The shoulders are going to come here, not very wide, we can barely see them. I'm going to choose a center here, where there's a small spot of light between the eyes in the hollow of the nose, and I'm smoothing and blending. As far as possible, I'm trying not to get into the details of the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the features, but more into the general structures, into the curves that the light makes. The light gathers here, it gathers of course on the tip of the nose. I'm just putting a little shadow under the nose, a small shadow around the eyes, that's all I need. I'm looking to see where the line of the mouth is, more or less, and the line between the lips. So I'm going to show all the dark values everywhere at the same time. I'm loading my brush with cobalt to have something cooler for the shadows. In fact, to do a realistic oil drawing, we really have to remove little by little the substance, because what's going to cause the problems is that there's too much substance. And the more I remove the substance, the more I'm going to manage to be subtle, because it's really very subtle. The values that are very slightly dark here, so I'm removing, and now I'm trying to have the shaded tones flowing towards the shadows. I'm going to try and bring out the hair, find ways to tear away a little paint here. I'm moving the pigments. At a given time, I've enough pigments on the canvas and I really don't need to add any more. I'm going to put them on the canvas and then move them around. We're not looking for an exact resemblance, we're looking for something accurate, something that relates to the subject. Okay, I like that. Right, my drawing is finished. I'm going to leave it to dry for a week. So in a week we'll go back over it with whites and warm tones, cool tones, bluish or reddish ones. And I'm going to work with a half paste to finish the painting. Every time I'm lost and I don't know what to do, I always go back to that point there. It's a sort of center, you could say. It's almost like a structural center. And here we find the width between the temples, the length of the nose, we go down to the chin, the height here. It's a sort of habit.